Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of Mid-Game Madness. This is brought to you by the Passergaming, aka Gamersteed, aka no one cares yet, but let's just get right into this. Spawning down here in the bottom right position, he is representing me, MSC2. It is the guy who sent in this replay, Richard. And up here, his opponent, he is representing No Fake, the real J. So while we're waiting for this game to get underway, I'm just going to pretty much give you an overview as I turn the game volume down just a little bit, so that you can actually hear me doing my thing. So basically what this series is all about is basically going to give some love to the middle of the road players. Those guys stuck down in plat, stuck down in other places like diamond, like gold. For diamond, this is going to be considered mid-level. I know everyone's going to probably yell at me for that, but they are as close to the top as possible, so they're pretty much high-level, mid-level for the purpose of this series, just so I'm not leaving anybody out. But anyway, this probe is coming in here. So far, he is going to get a pretty good scout off. He does not see the spawning pool yet, so he does know that something is amiss. Richard sending a drone out to scout. This probe still doesn't know what is going on here, so he's just going to hang out here, wait for that hatchery to go down. But it's going to be a spawning pool first on 15. Well, 16 actually. And he's just going to play it a bit safe against his Protoss opponent, who is so far not chosen what he wants to build yet. He has this pylon down here, so this is obviously going to be a Nexus first. Right here. The probe is down there, and here he is about to throw it down. He's about to be a hero. He's about to warp in his first building. There we go. Probe's first building. That's like a Christmas card right there. But anyway, these probe being a little bit annoying down here. He's going to block this hatchery for a bit, but no, that hatchery is going to go down. Spawning pool is about to finish up, so he is going to know where his opponent is, because this overlord did see everything. It's also a forge fast expand, so he can plop down a couple cannons, make sure that everything is all good. And so basically, we're just going to see what kind of craziness these two can come up with. This is the middle of the road players, so they do not know, they don't really know the build orders yet. They're still coming up with their own things. They're just having fun with the game. This is for the not so serious players. You can be serious and get on this. I don't care, but yeah, this is just for people who wanna see themselves on the big screen, pretty much. See what they can. So they're gonna have me pretty much analyze them a little bit during my cast. They're gonna have you guys in the comments section below tell me what you guys think. If you want to send in your replays, that's passergaming@outlook.com. It can be anything from bronze to gold. Not bronze to gold, bronze to diamond. That's a bit higher than gold, so I'm told. But yeah, we're going to have 3 series pretty much put down here. Low League Learners is my other one for the league system. It's going to feature bronze and silver level players, excuse me, who really just starting to get to know the game. And as you guys have known, I've done a bit of casting for the ESL, so I do know how crazy it gets down there. So yeah, this mid-league madness is based on gold, platinum, and diamond level games. I should probably do something for master levels, but I haven't really thought of one yet. Also, one more series, the holds is real. That's basically going to be that is going to be for those players who have done an amazing hold. Think recently Jaedong versus Gung Fu Panda, game number 3. He went 3 hatch and he didn't, he let it finish, so he is going to be blocking that gas for a while. But anyway, yeah, so if you got a hold that you want to see just everyone admire, send it in. Send in your low league games, send in your mid league games, and I will get them on the big screen. But yeah, this mothership core is going to take a while to get this extractor down. Behind this, Richard not really choosing to go for an aggressive style behind this. He's just droning up, making sure he has enough economy to go aggressive a bit later. This probe is about to start to wall off this area here. He already has the main wall off done down here, but he also wants a secondary wall in case of Zergling aggression. On the back of this as well, a Stargate, if I can click and make it go. Oh, there it is. But yeah, this could be used for Oracle play. You get a bit of aggression done, and so far Richard's staying on 2 bases. Both players are a little supply blocked almost. There's a couple pylons and a couple overlords gonna fix that. But we have a small swell of lings here. About 14 were in production, and they are gonna move across the map to try and get something done on the other side. The Zealot though is for Auir at this point. He is the last line of defense. Got a couple sentries back here, but they don't really know their orders. I don't even think they are anything other than robots, so they gotta wait for the Zealot to die to get their job done. But so far he is just gonna scout for some proxies, and actually it's not an Oracle out of this, it's a Void Ray. So this is obviously for an aggressive Void Ray, not in all in at this point, you can't really tell, but he is gonna have a lot of aggression built up. Because so far, excuse me there, 3 Evo chambers as well. He did warn me that this was going to happen. He is going to have all the upgrades he needs just for that Void Ray. But other than that, he is still stuck on spawning pool tech, aka Zerglings. He does have really good vision though. If you see this, he has complete control over the map. If anything moves out, if a Zealot sneezes, then he is going to see it. He still hasn't seen that Stargate though, so blindly throwing down a Hydralisk den. I guess he's wanted to go for Ling Hydra already, so he had that build planned out in his head. So it is a bit of a blind counter, but that is always good, especially as a Zerg player. If you're doing a blind counter, this Zealot just hanging out here, wanted to go kill that Zergling. But he's got to get back to his job, and now the sentries have taken over. Just slowly building up that energy too. They're almost, one of them's almost full, and he's gonna warp in a couple more, so it looks like he's starting to get ready for some aggression, and so is Richard. He's making a lot of overlords, and you know overlords, once you make a lot of them, you're gonna attack with them. That's pretty much how it goes. On top of this, also a flying locust upgrade. We are gonna see swarm hosts. It looks like since the nerf, we haven't really seen a lot of them, so this is actually a bit of a treat for everybody out there in the land. But so far he does have full map control. We'll have to see if he uses the swarm hosts in a more aggressive or a more well, he could put them right here, send them right into the base. I'm forgetting my words here. English is only my first language, don't worry about it, guys. But yeah, so far neither player really choosing to attack. Passive aggressive pretty much out of Richard. He's just saying, oh, you want to move out? Oh, that's fine. You can move. No, you move out. Come on, move out, man. You got it. But so far we still got those sentries, still got those Void Rays, and a first Colossus coming out. That's going to counter those Hydralisks very well. Has he seen the Hydra Den is what I'm wondering. Yeah, he actually did see the Hydra Den, so he does know that he needs Colossus to deal with this. He has seen also the infestation pit, but he thinks that's going to be just for lair tech, for hive tech rather, because really you don't really get, unless you're going for fungals, you don't really make any upgrades out of that anymore. But the first swarm host is on the way. They're in 2 separate locations. They're brothers separated by birth, but they are both for the swarm. But other than this, the real J not really choosing to be aggressive. He's just building up his forces. He's got 1 Colossus out already with +1 attack. +1 armor is on the way. So he's just choosing to build up his force. That's a typical Protoss thing. You know, you build up that death ball and you're pretty much unstoppable. You have the force fields to block out Hydralisks. And did he actually get Hydralisk range? Yes, he did. So those force fields have to be a bit further away than normal. If he didn't have that group spines, then there wouldn't be +7 range on the Hydralisks. If I messed that up, please let me know. This Overseer here just kind of chilling, waiting for that 3rd base to go down, and it looks like Real J is posturing to take that. That's usually why you move your army out like this, not toward your opponent. And yes, here comes the probe to throw down that Nexus. It's not... Is that farther than what you're supposed to be? Like... No, it's not. I am blind. But Burrow also... Richard just deciding to get everything in the book pretty much here for the Zerg. And Evolution Chamber getting +1, +2 attack, +2 attack, +2 armor not on the way yet. He didn't have the resources for that, I'm guessing. But he is a bit supply block now as well. He needs more Overlords. Those 6 Overlords popped, but they didn't give him everything he needed. And here comes the first attack out of those Swarm Hosts. Now, for those of you who don't know, these guys have been buffed into speed damage a lot. This group could take out this Nexus if properly targeted, but instead they are going to go for the Photon Cannon. No, they're actually going to go for probes. Going to get a few probes before dying. Actually, they didn't get any probes. He did focus down the Nexus. I am blind as a bat. But right now, these guys need to get out of there. They have a 60-second cooldown time, so they cannot afford to stick around. He knows they're there now. Zergling just on a patrol movement, making sure that nothing goes by him. He is a bit scared of what could happen, so he does have that down. But his Zerglings have not moved from this spot in a while. They are just chilling. This is the Zergling party. All we need is a slash dance. Unfortunately, I can't do that, but you know how it goes. These guys not... But here comes the second wave of Swarm Hosts. And they're going to get this Nexus. He's going to focus it down, I am sure. Third base has gone down over here, but the second base is still fully saturated on minerals. He does need to retake that, and it is going to supply block him a little bit. He needs to throw down a couple pylons now. Just make sure that does not happen again. And a fourth base is already saturated here for Richard. So Richard taking a commanding lead over this game. These Swarm Hosts, though, they're out of position. Does he see them? No, he doesn't. So they're going to get away for now. 4 pylons on the way. 7 Overlords. Richard is actually close to being maxed as well. He's about 20 supply away. Roaches on the way, so he threw down that Roach Warren. Hive Tech, so he can get +3 all of his stuff. Did he get the speed upgrade? He's got muscular augments for his Hydralisks. I don't think that's for his Roaches just yet. But yeah, these Zerglings still chilling out here, just waiting for that army. They don't really want to engage this army. That is a big army, and it's anti-Zergling all the way. But on top of this, we also have 5 Vipers on the way, so those Colossus need to be careful. They need to be postured correctly. And on top of this, muscular adrenal glands. But these Swarm Hosts actually going to get taken out there. They need to run away. They aren't fast enough on their own. Those Stalkers do have Blink. So all these Swarm Hosts are going to get taken out. Just one more Blink, and that is it for them. On this, the Swarm Hosts do try and get that second Nexus, but they just did not have the numbers here. Actually, I think it's about 8 that you need to focus it down, as long as you focused it down from the beginning. One more Swarm Host on the way. That's going to bring it up to just that one. So he's not going to be able to take out any Nexus with that. He would use it to focus down these probes here. It would kill a lot of probes if he could get rid of that Photon Cannon. Finally, these Zerglings going to go back and meet with this main army. And Real J going straight for that 4th base. He's going to move into the 3rd instead. These Vipers still going for energy. They are taking everything. The force fields are pretty good in this engagement, though. Oh, these Hydralisks getting around on the Colossus. That is actually pretty bad. Not enough force fields. One Colossus does go down. A second one gets poked over. Second Colossus goes down. Prismatic alignment is going. 3rd Colossus dies. These Hydras are just cleaning up this army pretty much. Real J is dropping in supply rapidly. He just lost his entire army, and Richard takes a very commanding lead in this game. His 4th did go down in that engagement, however. That is a bit of a mistake, but that was a very good play out of the Real J. This pylon here was meant for forward reinforcements, but he knew he wasn't going to be able to get it. His 4th base is almost done as well. Richard's starting to take a lot of resources on. He needs to start spending those resources on troops. But this pylon is going to go down. And it looks like Richard is starting to move out. You only have 1 Colossus, a bunch of Stalkers, a couple Zealots. Excuse me. So he does have a bit of a fight on his hands. Templar Archives could help out with that a lot. with the Hydralisks. If you get a couple of shots off on the Hydralisks, just massive amounts of damage. +3 is also on the way for Richard. So I have to give this game so far to Richard. He's just doing everything right against this Protoss. These two Swarm hosts trying to do their duty, take out that Nexus, but alas, they do not have the lifespan for it. They spend their entire lives pushing down this Nexus and haven't even made a scratch on it yet. It lost about 700 to 800 shields. That's about it. They gave their lives for the Swarm. But on top of this, Richard is starting to move out. Small harassment of Zealots running down here towards that newly remade 4th base. This Spine Crawler is going to be able to take it down. But will it fall? But a big engagement over here. Richard moving into a choke point. There's a bunch of High Templars here, but Storm is not completed. He could take this fight pretty well. Couple feedbacks on those Vipers, so no. But Blinding Cloud's already gone down. All these Stalkers are forfeit. Those Vipers out of energy, but there's only 3 Colossus left. Not enough to take them. This Archon trying to desperately to warp in, but it is going to die. This last Colossus falls, and this base is dead. Richard knows it. Real J knows it. He needs to get rid of those probes. He needs to get rid of that Nexus. But this base is going to go down. Those Spine Crawlers were not enough. So this Nexus falls. And he could move straight into the main from here. There is no Mothership Core, I do not believe. Well, it's there, but it won't do much. A Photon Overcharge is not going to help him in this. 4th base does go down once again for Richard. So that is a good consolation for the Real J. And Richard actually going for this 4th base instead of moving towards the main. You do have this one Zergling still on patrol. He doesn't want anything to do with this fight. But this 4th Nexus is going to go down. So the Real J is actually stuck on one mining base, and that base is starting to get really, really low. The Zealots did get cleaned up finally by this mass of Spine Crawlers, and Richard just really has this game in the bag by this point. Got a couple Colossus, a couple Void Rays. They only have +2 attack though. These are +3 Roach Hydra. If he takes one good engagement here, Storms do go down. There are pretty good Storms over a majority of this army, but they just don't do the damage they need. Colossus are going to fall. The Void Rays fall. That Archon is going to fall before it's even born. This is starting to be a little low on the unit count, but Richard takes this game. Very good by Richard. So guys, this has been the first episode of Mid-League Madness. Thank you all for tuning in. I am Passer. If you want your replays to be sent, if you guys want your replays casted, send them in to Passergaming at outlook.com. I will post the link in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.